channeling messages from King Beleth. This is going to be a short video. I will revisit King Beleth on a later date. I am doing this video because King Beleth asked me to channel a few messages. He said it is very important for black magicians to learn what he is about to teach. To start off, King Beleth is the first demon I invoked ceremoniously. To briefly introduce King Beleth, according to the Ars Goetia, Beleth is a mighty and a terrible king of hell. He has 85 legions of demons under his command. Beleth gives all the love of men and women he is commanded until the conjurer is satisfied. The first time I heard of the phrase Beleth, I didn't even know it is a demon. It's a folk legend that if you want someone to fall in love with you, just focus really intensely on that person, and chant Beleth, Beleth, Beleth 3 times, and it would be as good as casting a love spell. The person who told me that love spell had no idea Beleth is a demon. King Beleth was the whole reason how I got into Ars Goetia and black magic. As I researched the word Beleth, the entire world of occultism revealed itself to me. I guess you can say King Beleth opened the door for me. In a way, you can say he summoned me more than I summoned him. I originally summoned King Beleth for a love spell, not sure it would work, actually, not sure what I was doing. I followed the book as much as possible, but nothing happened during the ritual, at least I didn't feel any different. A few days later, I was laying in bed at around 4 in the afternoon. It was a long day and I was trying to clear my mind. I was trying to meditate. It was a sunny day in early autumn. Not a cloud in sight, weather forecast was clear sky all week long. All of a sudden I can see the sky darkened up. It was like a very fast-moving thunderstorm. It went from sunny to pitch dark in a few minutes. Wind was blowing very hard. I didn't think much about it at the moment. Then all of a sudden a lightning bolt flashed in front of my window. I remember thinking, wow, that lighting was right on top of me. Then before I was able to finish that thought, the loudest, most crackling, most explosive thunder descended upon me. I remember feeling the shock wave of air exploding around me, just like when you stood too close when fireworks went off. Then for some inexplicable reason, I said to myself, Beleth is here. As soon as I said that to myself, a second lighting flashed in front of my window. I remember saying to myself, here we go again. Then a second even more powerful thunder exploded on top of my roof, as if all around me. How did I feel about successfully summoning a king of hell? Freaked the fuck out was how I felt. I felt my body shaking from the aftershock. I've been around explosives before, and my body felt the same way, except when I was around ordnance, I would had safety equipment on, I would be ready for it. I wasn't ready for that thunder strike. I was in bed, remember? Trying to meditate, wearing shorts and t-shirt. I remember sensing a deep voice. It wasn't a voice you can hear, it was a force, but it was translated somehow, and I know it in English somehow. The deep voice said, I am here, you called me. It was a deep voice, but friendly, sort of like James Earl Jones in his breakfast voice. Imagine James Earl Jones ordering a pizza on the phone. That's the voice. I instinctively knew it was Beleth. I also knew he was being sarcastic. Almost in a joking matter. I didn't expect to meet a demon that afternoon, let alone a king of hell. So I wasn't sure what to say. Beleth was nice about it, like an old friend. I didn't see him but I felt his energy presence. Then I felt this energy pushed me down on my stomach, sort of like a friendly wrestling game kids play. Felt like Beleth was being friendly, but he also didn't know what to do, so he made his presence felt, as if saying it's okay, buddy, I am here when you need me. I wasn't sure when Beleth left, but it took a good hour for the energy to dissipate. My heart rate wasn't high, but you know when you sometimes feel very heavy, like there are rocks in your heart. That's how it felt like when Beleth was in the room, except a lot heavier than I've ever experienced. Nothing really specific happened afterwards. In retrospect, Beleth had been my occult teacher in the background, creating coincidences for me to learn about black magic, introducing me to people, chance encountering books, putting ideas together from my experience. One thing I did notice was a proverb in my head. In retrospect, I realize it was a channeled message. King Beleth said if you want to work with the devil, you are going to have to fight, and he meant it rather literally. Go get into a conflict, don't back down from a confrontation. If someone shortchanged you a penny, you ask where's your penny. If the restaurant food was bad, you send it back. If you felt disrespected, you let that person know. You may not win all the time, but you have to fight. I am usually a carefree guy. It's all good was my motto. There are a lot of mundane things I usually don't care about, but just when I was about to let go and relax, I heard a voice suggesting, if you want to work with the devil, you are going to have to fight. Later it was abbreviated to the devil said fight. Took me a while to get used to that voice in my head, but these days, when I hear it, I take it as a signal to get into the fray. Beleth said the devil was used in tongue-in-cheek, he meant it as inferno spirits in general. Like for example, I remember once I was catching a bus, and this guy was running towards the door, and about to jump in front of me. Normally I wouldn't care, then a voice whispered to me, the devil said fight, so I politely informed him that I was in line. The man glared at me but went to the back of the line. And there was another time, I was waiting for my food at McDonald's. For some reason the staff person either didn't call my number, or I didn't hear her. As a result the burger was sitting on the counter, for like 15 minutes. When I went to follow up on my order, I got a really rude reply from the counter girl. She said something to the effect that I should have listened, blah, blah, blah. I was a little peeved. Normally I would have taken the burgers and left. Then I hear a familiar voice said the devil said fight, so I confronted her on the issue. I don't like to get into verbal fights, but I tell you, I am rather gifted in winning arguments. A minute or so later, the manager emerged from the back, asked about the situation. I was being unreasonable, I said. First, your staff was really rude to me. Second, my burger was sitting on the counter for 15 minutes. It is cold and I want a fresh one. The manager asked what I ordered, then he himself went to the back and personally made my burgers from fresh. He even thrown in a free order of fries. King Beleth later said something profound to me. He said, only through conflict could a demon reveal its power to you. He doesn't mean the fight itself will be filled with demonic power, but aggregately, you will receive more blessings from demons as you get into more conflicts. Fast forward to earlier tonight, I had a few occult stories I wanted to tell, but I wasn't sure I was ready to give those spirits my full attention. Then I heard King Beleth came to me. In a very casual way, he said, why not channel my messages to your friends? It's a rather simple story to tell. He also hinted that someone would greatly benefit from listening to this story. So if you feel this YouTube video is oddly relatable, that means King Beleth is talking to you. One more thing King Beleth wanted me to channel. He said when you summon him, he normally won't appear right away. Sometimes you will need to summon him a few times before he hears you. When he reveals himself to you, it will be very loud. Look for a random event that appears to be out of the blue, and shockingly loud. That's when King Beleth make his presence. He said that's the way he introduced himself. I asked him why, and he said, in a joking matter that borderline laughing out loud. Beleth said, I was born this way. He is still laughing right now as I type. 2 trivial side notes. It was noted in Ars Goetia that King Beleth is often preceded by a percussion band. My guess is the author of Ars Goetia must have experienced what I experienced. Another trivial note. Prince, the late musician, was a devotee to King Beleth. His strange-looking guitars were designed to pay homage to King Beleth's sigil. So in review, here are the 3 messages King Beleth asked me to channel tonight. First message: if you want to work with the devil, you are going to have to fight. Sometime you would hear it abbreviated as the devil said fight. He said you won't win all the fights, but when you hear that, get into that fight. There is a lesson in there for you. Also, you'll feel the presence of the demon you recently tributed. Beleth said the fight is part of the ritual. Second message: in conflict, he will reveal himself to you. Beleth meant a demonic spirit you recently summoned will reveal himself to you, if you are worthy. Third message: King Beleth reveals himself in a very loud, unexpected, irrational event, and you will freak out. That's how you know it's him. I have worked with other spirits before, and in time, I would like to share those stories too. Looking online, I haven't found a lot of people who have specifically worked with King Beleth. There are a lot of talks about him, but very few true story I can count on to reference. Do you have an experience with this entity? Share your experience on the comments below. One last thing, if you are a YouTuber or have another blog, and you enjoyed this story, which is 100% true, please share it on your channel. Beleth would appreciate the attention. Good things happens to people who gain the favor of this powerful demon.